The challenges of urbanization. Today we're going to look at urbanization, the Americanization movement, tenement, mass transit, the social gospel movement, settlement house, and the famous social reformer Jane Addams. Urban opportunities. Why did people move to the cities? Many of the new immigrants settled in the cities in the early 1900s. They came to find new jobs in the cities, growing factories and businesses. Immigrants settled mainly in cities in the Northeast and Midwest. The result was rapid urbanization or growth of cities in those regions. By 1910, immigrants made up more than half of the populations of 18 major American cities. Many immigrants settled in neighborhoods with others from the same country or even from the same village. Newcomers to the United States learned about the new country through an education program known as the Americanization movement. Under this program, schools taught immigrants English and American history and government. These subjects helped immigrants become citizens. Immigrants were not the only people who settled in the cities around the turn of the century. On the nation's farms, new machines replaced workers. As a result, many workers in the rural areas lost their jobs. Unemployed farm workers soon moved to cities to find jobs. Many of the southern farmers who lost their jobs were African Americans. Between 1890 and 1910, about 200,000 African Americans moved from the South to cities in the North. They helped to escape economic hardship and racial violence. However, many found prejudice and low wages in the North. Name two groups that settled in the cities. Urban problems. What problems did city dwellers face? City populations grew rapidly. This created many problems. One major problem was a shortage in housing. New types of housing allowed many people to live in small amount of space. One type was the row house. This was a single family dwelling that shared side walls with other similar houses. Another type was tenements, multifamily urban houses that were often overcrowded and unsanitary. The growing population of cities created transportation challenges. Cities developed mass transit transportation systems designed to move large number of people along fixed routes. Cities also faced problems supplying safe drinking water. New York and Cleveland built public waterworks, but many city residents were still left without convenient water and had to get their water from taps on the street. Sanitation was also a problem. People threw garbage out their windows, sewage flowed in the streets. By 1900, many cities had built sewers and created sanitation departments. Crime and fire were also ongoing problems. Overcrowded and poorly built tenements and lack of water made fire especially dangerous. Question number 2. Name two problems that residents faced. Reformers mobilize. How did reformers help the poor? A number of social reformers worked to improve the life in the cities. One early reform program was the social gospel movement. Leaders of this movement preached that people reach salvation.
Good morning, prayer.
Leaders of this movement preached that people reach salvation by helping the poor. Many reformers responded to the movement's call. They established settlement houses. These were community centers located in slum neighborhoods. Workers there provided help and friendship to immigrants and the poor. Many of these houses were run by middle-class, college-educated women. The settlement houses also offered schooling, nursing, and other kinds of help to those in need. One of the more well-known social reformers of this time was Jane Addams. She helped establish Hull House. This was a settlement house that helped the poor of Chicago. Question number 3. Name two things a settlement house provided for the poor.